everyone, episode 10 of the EK Holden Wagon Rescue. Thanks to everyone who's been watching and following along, 10 episodes. It's been a bit of a journey, but we're almost there. We probably only have one more episode left to do on Eddie, which will be putting the twin carbies back on the grey motor and taking it out to Pete's moonshine run in a couple of weeks' time. So again, thanks to everyone that's watched and been there for the journey. Guys that have jumped on that are new to the channel, welcome. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the usual YouTube stuff. Taking 30 seconds to do all that stuff it does help out, so I appreciate if you guys make the effort to do that for us. Anyway, episode 10. So on this video, we're going to do a few things. I'm going to show you how we condition and try and preserve the patina paint that's on Eddie. I hate that word patina. But Eddie's a car that I dragged out of the paddock. It's been sitting out in the weather for 15 odd years and needs extensive rust repairs. I've got a heap of FB EK Holdens. I've spent big dollars on one of them, which is close to being done. And they're just like, I like them for the car they are, but they're not the sort of car if you pour 50, 60, 70, 80 plus grand into them, you're never going to get that money back. So I'm doing this because I love this model and it's my hobby, but cars like this that need big rust repairs and paint and all the work, unless it's like a really special car to you, financially it's crazy to do that. So this car, I've just dragged it out, I've got it going, I'm trying to preserve it, we'll have fun with it for what it is, and down the track it's probably going to end up as a vintage gas race car. So you know, purist, that probably upsets a few people, but the reality is, my car, I'll do what I want with it, and car's probably a bit too far gone to put it back on the street while being financially sensible. So anyway, that's my little spiel on that one. So yeah, in this episode we condition the paint, we try and seal it all up. So I'll show you the products and steps that we use to do that. My wife, big shout out to her, she helped a lot on this video. She's a creative and artistic one amongst us. She's done the sign writing on my drag car before, and she does some sign writing on Eddie for us. So we'll talk through the steps on how we do that, so you guys at home can do it. We use real simple products, anyone can have a go at it. So yeah, have a crack, do it yourselves. So yeah, we preserve the paint, we do the sign writing. Show you guys a quick and easy way on how to mask up and paint the wheels without removing the tyres, so you don't get paint and shit all over your wheels. And yeah, that's about it. So hope you guys enjoy it. Bear with us. It's probably going to be a 25-minute, 30-minute episode. But yeah, we'll hopefully you guys will get something from it. And yeah, down the track I'll do a review on how the Sweet Patina Patina Sauce holds up, which is the product that we've used to try and preserve the paint. Really good product to use. I'm really happy with the initial results of it, but it'll be interesting to see how it holds up in a harsh Australian environment. So we'll do a follow-up video in a few months' time on that one. But anyway, enough waffling on. Again, thanks everyone for watching. Do the like, comment, subscribe thing, and I hope you enjoy the video. Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Okay, so these are the materials we've got: some one-shot sign writing paint, some off-white, just cheap enamel. We're only doing a thin coat, so we don't want it too thick. Masking tape, masking paper, tape measure, some terps to clean up. So what the wife's done is she's gone and, don't know if you can see that on camera, but she's used a cry cut machine to make some stencils up. So these are just done on like vinyl with transfer tape. So they'll get transferred onto the car to be used as a stencil. So that's all the materials that we've got ready to go. So 138 cubic inches for the grey motor will be on the front. Fast Eddie is what we've called the car on the doors, and then the E-Stop class designation down on the back quarter. So that's what we're doing. So we'll get into it. First thing we need to do is just wipe down. We'll use some degreaser, all-purpose cleaner, and then some wax and grease remover, and then we'll get the stencils on there and go from there.
The first step is ensuring that we have a clean surface free of dirt, oxidisation and any contaminants that will stop the paint from sticking. We used a red 3M Scotch-Brite pad and degreaser. We then wiped the area down with all-purpose cleaner and wax and grease remover, allowing the surface to dry. My wife Lacey had done a heap of pre-planning for this, ensuring that she had all the sign writing stencils, the size that she required, to lay out on the panels where she wanted them. Once the surface is clean, she double checked the measurements of where the stencils needed to go, and the vinyl stencil with its transfer film on it is then stuck to the panel. The surrounding area is then masked off as we're using a combination of pressure pack enamel and one-shot sign writing enamel. The next step is to lightly dust on the vintage white enamel. You don't want it too thick, as we want to rub through this when it's dry to give the distressed look. Let it cure until it was almost touch dry, and then carefully remove the masking and stencil vinyl. Once the paint is touch dry, Lacey's now using a fine lettering brush and some black one-shot sign writing paint to add an outline or shadow effect. You need a steady hand for this, so go easy on the bourbons the night before.
Okay, so I've given these a quick Scotch-Brite just to knock all the flaky shit off them. Haven't been too precious with it. Like, look at the rest of the car, it's all pretty rough. So, you know, if you're doing this properly, take tyres off, sandblast your wheels, blah blah blah. This is just a quick clean up to get the same white on these tyres instead of this beigey colour. So anyway, tyres are inflated. I've hit it with a Scotch-Brite and just knocked all the shit off. Wax and grease removed it. I'm now going to deflate the tyres, tape the valve stems up, or mask the valve stems up, and then a little trick with masking which I'll show you. So let's get into that. Right, so I got one tyre masked up. To do this, I'll just hand the camera over to my lovely assistant. So I've just got some masking film. Excuse the bandana, it's bloody hot, wet, shit weather. Not the weather to be doing this sort of stuff, but time's money, and I don't have a lot of either. Anyway, just got some masking film. I'll lay it over so it's covering everything we need. Right, like so, centered, and we find the center of what we've just done, like so, and then we want to measure from the outside to roughly there. Again, shit everywhere, so excuse. Right, and what we end up with the hole. Right, so this tyre's still inflated, so we'll knock the valve out. So you can see that's roughly sitting there. We'll deflate the tyre, and then we just use like a putty knife or what have you to poke it under the rim, and you end up with something like this. So we'll do the same on this one. And then we're ready to flick some paint over this crap. Okay, so I've deflated the tyre. I've got this roughly sitting. So now you just use a bit of body weight and you just use your dog card or putty knife or whatever you got laying around to just tuck the plastic under the bead. So it's need a bit of strength, but it's not too bad. Tucking it under as you go. No, you see people using plain cards and shit like that, but this is very quick and easy. Just make sure you don't poke holes in your plastic. Try to use the blunt edge. Just tucking it under. Try not to drip sweat on your prep surface, even though the prep on this is pretty average. Right, so that's all tucked under. There's a little rip I can see there, so there's a bit more in. Like so. Right, we'll wrap the masking tape around that one. Already got one coat on this one. And we're not, don't come at me about how I'm not doing it properly. This is a bit of fun. Considering what this car was, it's a big improvement. But we're not taking it too seriously. Tuck all that underneath. Good to go. Alright, so there we go. It's had a couple of coats of the sort of vintage white. It's like the off-white that was used for the sign writing. So that's had a couple of coats. Let that dry, and then we'll pull the masking off and chuck them on the car. Okay, now we've got Eddie all sign written up. So he's all sign written up, and floors have been all wire wheeled, rust converted and painted, so there's still stuff off them that we'll fix eventually, but for now just making it nice. So now what we need to do, we want to distress this lettering so it doesn't stand out as much, and give the car a good clean up outside. So what I'm going to be using, don't be scared by all these products, and you know, I'm not a car detailing expert or a paint panel expert. I'm a mechanic by trade. I hate cleaning cars, but it's one of those things where if you put the effort in, it can be quite rewarding. So I'm going to sort of do a few steps. I'm going to first off wash the car. It's been sitting out in the weather, so it's got shit sitting all over it. So first step, I'm going to wash it, get all the crap off. Next thing I'm going to do is use some CLR and Scotch-Brite to just treat all the surface rust. I'll degrease it, and then I'm going to try some of this Sweet Patina Sauce. So I've bought the like 3-pack, they call it, from Brisbane Refinishes. So you basically want to get the car clean, use some all-purpose cleaner to get any wax or contaminants off the paint. You might need to degrease it first, and then use the all-purpose cleaner. Then the Sweet Patina. So in the past I've used things like Penetrol, it works well, but I wanted to give this stuff a go. I watched a few YouTube videos of guys using it in the States, and it seems to be pretty good results. Like I've seen guys using the wipe on clear coats and they seem to be pretty hit and miss, but this stuff here looks pretty good. Obviously it's a fair bit more expensive than Penetrol, but I wanted to try it out and see if it's worth the value, so I'll let you know how that goes. And then once that's done, that should hopefully seal it. And then I've just got some Autosol and steel wool and stuff to clean all the bumpers and the chrome on this thing. So anyway, that's the sort of process that I'm going to follow. These are the products that I'll be using. So yeah, we'll time lapse it all and show you the result at each stage, and show you the finished product. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is where we're at. We've cleaned the car, I don't know, snow foamed it, washed it, sealed the roof, and then the roof was like, it's got quite a bit of surface rust and stuff in it. Probably should have used it undiluted on there, but you can see some of that green's come out. It's looking really good, but the surface rust is still kind of there, so probably should have just used it undiluted and left it for a bit. I've actually ended up dry sanding this roof because it was very rough. I've got it to now where you can sort of wipe a Scotch-Brite over it and it doesn't tear the Scotch-Brite apart. So yeah, we ended up washing this thing about 4 times, just snow foam, wash it, Scotch-Brite it, CLR it until the water stopped coming off red. As you've seen, Lacey's rubbed through on the paint and weathered that now, so that looks like it's been on there for a while now, like the rest of the car. Inside's all clean, thrown some Povo upholstery on it, the old Mexican blanket, and wiped everything down. So to clean all this inside, I use the Sweet Patina all-purpose cleaner. So I need to, that's like just under a litre. I think it was about 30 bucks. I need to check that, but really impressed by how well that stuff cleans as an all-purpose cleaner. I'd probably, depending on how much that was, I'd definitely buy that again. It's really good stuff. So anyway, now onto now we've sort of got it all clean and cleaned the trim, and we want to sort of seal this in now. So I'm using patina sauce by Sweet Patina. Sort of what we need to do now that everything's clean and deoxidized, wipe the thing down with all-purpose cleaner, and then we use the patina sauce, and then once that's on there, it has this detailer that's just like a regular quick detailer that you use moving forward. So anyway, we'll do the next step now. So all-purpose clean the whole thing, let it dry while we're doing that, and then we'll put the patina sauce on there. We'll get into it. Okay, so that's step one. Well, there's been lots of steps, but when you're following the patina sauce, the directions on there, yeah, wash it and then clean the surfaces with the So Fresh and Clean APC. So that's where we're up to. Inside and outside are being cleaned and wiped down with that all-purpose cleaner. And now we're gonna apply the patina sauce, Sweet Patina. So this stuff, you just wipe it on, let it cure for 20 minutes, and then wipe the excess off. So yeah, the finish that we've got is pretty much how we're gonna end up. Of course, it's gone from being 30 degrees, that's Celsius for any of the guys from the US watching. It's gone from being about 30 degrees Celsius and, I don't know, 75% humidity to, you feel the temperatures dropping, and there's lots of black clouds forming, so probably got a thunderstorm later tonight, which is pretty typical for southeast Queensland. So I want to get a wriggle on. I don't want to put this stuff on and then have it get wet, so I'll get going on this, wipe it on, I'll basically apply it with a microfiber, let it cure for 20 minutes and then wipe the excess off. So that's what we'll do. See what we end up with. Pretty keen to see how this stuff works. Let's do it. Okay, I've sort of done half the car. This isn't half that I've done, but I wanted to sort of show you guys. I haven't wiped it off yet either. I've just put it on there. I'm racing the weather. You can kind of see I've done this half of the car. It's probably going to be hard to see, but you can sort of, now this isn't meant to have a shine. I haven't wiped this off yet. It's still curing. But you can sort of see, like, from the roof, you can see half that's done, the half that isn't. I've sort of done more than half on the bonnet, but this side's done. You can sort of, if you look at that guard compared to that guard, yeah, I'm pretty impressed by this stuff so far. Super easy to apply. Literally, it's oil based. Like it's made the colours just pop. It's probably a bit dark through here, but the roof soaked it in, like it could probably do with a couple of coats on the roof. But man, I'm super impressed by that stuff. Like it's oil based. It's yeah, you just wipe it on with a microfiber and let it cure, and then wipe it off. It's like a matte finish. It's not a gloss finish at all, which is what I personally prefer. I don't really like patina cars with glossy paint jobs, but each their own. I don't judge anyone on their personal tastes. But yeah, really impressed by this stuff so far. Super easy to put on. Goes like the coverage that you get from it goes a long way. Like being oil based, it's just so easy to wipe on. Smells amazing. My wife is whinging that it smells strong, but I think it smells bloody good. But yeah, it's really made these colours pop. It's made this red oxide paint look like new. So anyway, we'll let that sit for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll wipe that off. I might actually do this other side now and then wipe it off and show you the whole car. But yeah, so far super impressed with the Sweet Patina sauce. Definitely liking it so far. So let's get the rest of it done. Okay, there we are. Managed to beat the rain, which was good. So you probably saw, ended up doing 2 coats on the roof. I'll come around this way. The roof's was very oxidised, and there's lots of sort of surface rust on the roof. So I think the first coat's soaked in real quickly, and because I sort of did half the car, then the other half the car, you could kind of tell where the 2 halves were done. So I did a second even coat all over that. That's sort of finished with the rest of the car now. It's quite good. And then the rest of the car just got like 1 coat. So yeah, you just literally wipe it on with a microfiber, give it 20 minutes, and then buff it off with a dry microfiber. Fucking spilt a heap, which I was pissed off about. Hand was getting slippery, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's turned out quite good. To be honest, I'm a bit of a fan of that product. It'll be interesting to see how it holds up over time. So this car is just sitting in the carport at the moment. My shed's full of dailies and my old man's car that we're trying to sell for him. So this thing's just sort of sitting out in the carport. So let's sort of see how that all turned out. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that holds up. I'll keep an eye on that, and probably might do an update video in a few months to sort of see what it's doing. But like, now that this car's clean and it's had that on there, you know, probably not such a big job if you have to reapply it in 6 months time, given the southeast Queensland environment is quite harsh. It's very hot, very humid. It's not dry at all. So yeah, the idea now that this is on there is basically to maintain it. You use this quick detailer, so it's like any other quick detail. You sort of squirt it on, spread it around with the microfiber, and then use a dry microfiber to buff it off. So that's basically how you maintain it now. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it. So this stuff's a little bit more expensive, or it's a fair bit more expensive than like your regular penetrol, but stuff smells amazing, goes on easy. I think like seeing how long it lasts will be the deciding factor whether it would be something that I would stick with, or something where you just say, hey, it's not worth it, just use the penetrol from Bunnings or what have you. So what we're going to do, we've got a some of you guys may have already seen this, but we actually we've got 4 FBs EKs at the moment. We've got 3 wagons and a sedan, all in various states of disrepair, but the wife has this one. It's absolutely rooted, sitting in a garden, but we're just gonna penetrol this one because it obviously sits out in the weather as well, and do a bit of a comparison. That one's in the carport, so it's not entirely fair, but we'll see how we go in terms of longevity between the penetrol and the Sweet Patina. But overall, so far, the Sweet Patina, yeah, pretty happy with it. Very easy to use, smells good, goes a long way. Like probably half a bottle left of that Sweet Patina, and I spilt a heap of it. So yeah, it's thumbs up so far. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Sign writing's all been like rubbed through, so it looks really weathered now. Yeah, it's windows are clean, inside's clean, with the blankets on it, so it's looking it's like a mint. Like it's come a long way from when we dragged it out of the friend's backyard. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. And yeah, this thing's almost ready to go. We got the carbs to throw back on it, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It'll be done then, ready for Pete's in Feb. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Cheers.